Fortress Australia thought it was earthquake immune.
Oh my God.
A 5.9 magnitude earthquake mistaken for shoddy construction.
Is it an earthquake or a structural thing?
And noisy neighbours.
Fairies. If you're in there, be a little bit quieter.
It hit on Wednesday, was felt in Adelaide and as far away as Sydney.
The earthquake that we had yesterday only was quite big for Australian standards, and I think it's even the biggest in recorded history for Victoria.
Professor of Geology Martin Van Kranendonk told 6 News that the Pacific plate is slowly moving under the Australian plate, buckling, pushing it upwards.
And we can see the remnants of that effect with that arc of high ground, the Australian Alps, and that Great Dividing Range.
It's believed that created pressure was released at a deep fault line separating Melbourne and the Alps, causing this. In Melbourne, around 130 kilometres from the epicentre in Mansfield, there was minimal damage.
We dodged a bullet, if you like, that the earthquake did occur in a low populated area.
Because this is what happens when the epicentre is a city.
Earthquake terror. Tonight,
Newcastle, 1989, 13 people perished in Australia's deadliest earthquake, a magnitude 5.4. Those were different times before Australian structural design standards accounted for earthquakes. Today, homes built before the 90s are vulnerable.
Different building standards in the day, and some of the concrete might be a bit old and be microfractured and stuff. So
tonight, the entirety of southeastern Australia is on edge. So far, there have been more than 10 aftershocks. They can and have occurred months and years after the original quake, sometimes hundreds of kilometres away.
What's notorious about earthquakes, they're almost impossible to predict.
While we can't know for sure when or where the next earthquake will strike, we can prepare. Experts say in a quake, act quickly.
Because it happens quickly, and usually it doesn't last that long.
Hide under a table, but there is no need to dash outside.
It would be very rare for an entire building to collapse. Typically what you see is that an outside wall might fall partly away.
In which case, being outside is more dangerous.
Material can come off the tops of buildings, trees can get shaken, and you've got nowhere to hide. The key thing is to be able to get under cover.
Sound advice for shaky times. The San Andreas Fault in California, the Alpine Fault in New Zealand. Scientists say both are overdue for the big one, a high-magnitude earthquake which could hit at any moment now. Connor Alforque, 6 News.